Oh, idiot.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's the real one, baby.
I'm telling you.
Chi-Town stand up.
Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. So today I am doing a reaction video, and as you can tell by the title, this is going to be about young Pappy. So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and let's get into the video.
Young Pappy was one of the hottest up-and-coming rappers in the early days of Chicago drill. But like many other drill rappers who were really about that life, Young Pappy got killed before his music became mainstream. Let's get into the come-up and career of Young Pappy. Young Pappy grew up in the north side of Chicago and was raised mostly by a single mom with 4 brothers and 3 sisters. His parents split when he was young, and he moved around a lot between the neighborhoods of Uptown, Edgewater, and Rogers Park.
Okay, now I've heard of Rogers Park, y'all. Being from Chicago, I'm from the west side. So up north and the west side is like connected, kind of. It's only like a street apart, really. So I've heard of Rogers Park. I did not know that they was active like that. Like, I already know the west side and the south side got what they got going on. But up north, I thought was like pretty much, I thought up north and downtown was pretty much safe zones for like all the gang shit, pretty much. So to hear about Young Pappy and hear how savage he was coming, it's kind of it's a little crazy.
With an interest in music from an early age, he started rapping at just 4 years old. His older brother, B.U. Double, also raps and taught him how to make music. His younger brother, Tay Sav, also became a rapper, and he once said that as a kid, Pappy used to read the dictionary to learn new words for his raps. Pappy was a childhood nickname given to him by his grandmother, which he continued to use once he started rapping. He started dropping tracks on YouTube and other platforms in 2007, around age 12. But as he got older, he became more influenced by his environment and got sucked into the streets. Pappy was a member of the Gangsta Disciples and claimed a set called the Insane Cutthroat Gangsters.
Okay, so they said Gangsta Disciple, so he was a GD basically. So it's GDs up north. Okay, so that was good to know. Okay.
Pooh Bear Gang. Pooh Bear Gang was named after a respected member of the set, and Pooh Bear got killed in 2012. Pooh Bear was killed on the 1800 block of Junway Terrace. His killer was never...
Now what's crazy is they had all this going on, like, and it's just up north, and like they said, Pappy was dropping in 2012. Like, all this was like under our nose. Like in 2012, I believe Chief Keef was out and stuff like that around that time. So like the way Pappy was unheard of at that time. Nobody was listening to him at that time. So to realize they got ops, they got their friends being killed and all that, it's like, who are y'all ops? Where y'all shooting at? It's nothing but, if y'all don't know about, well, y'all should know about Chicago by now. I know y'all been tuning in, but it's nothing but white people up there. Like, who are y'all shooting at? Where y'all hiding at? Y'all shooting in front of the white people? I don't know. So it was just crazy. They gotta be another level of savage to be out there like in front of them white people, because you know they calling the police ASAP.
But police believe that it was a dude named Dante Simmons from a set of the GDs called Loke City. Simmons was later found dead with a self-inflicted gunshot wound and killed himself using the same gun that was used in Pooh Bear's murder. But rumors started going around that another member of Loke City named Munchie was behind Pooh Bear's death. Munchie and Pooh Bear were childhood friends.
And Pooh Bear died. Pooh Bear. Now Munchie died. Munchie. A couple niggas got hit up. Okay, so that's Munchie. Okay, so Munchie killed Pooh Bear. Is what I'm hearing. Is that wrong? I don't know. They confused. I got lost in the sauce. It be so much going on in Chicago. It's just, you get lost.
But a few days before he got killed, Pooh Bear dissed the Lokes on social media, which may have led to his death and sparked a deadly war between Pooh Bear Gang and Loke City. Pooh Bear and Young Pappy was close friends, and his death had a major impact on him and was one of the main reasons Young Pappy jumped off the porch and became a shooter. Since he moved around a lot, Young Pappy was also affiliated with another set called TFG. Pooh Bear Gang and TFG was closely affiliated to have their own hoods.
You see how confusing this shit is? I mean, if y'all following along like I'm following along. I mean, TFG clicked up with Pooh Bear Gang. I'm confused. But all I know, okay, so what we get is Pooh Bear, Pappy best friend, got killed. Still lost on whether Munchie did that or not. But anyway, Pooh Bear did. Pappy mad. Pappy jumped off the porch. Now Pappy going crazy.
out committing petty crimes like fighting and stealing. But the deeper he got into the streets, the more trouble he got into.
Wait, y'all. Pappy looked like a little thief. He looked like one of them niggas that just couldn't sit still. That just always got his hand. You gotta watch him. Shit, you leave him alone for too long, some shit coming up missing. He definitely looked like a little thief. He definitely do.
His wild behavior eventually landed him in juvie for a gun charge. While locked up, he had time to work on his music and decided to take it seriously since he was already known in the hood for his music. So, after he got out, he bought some audio equipment and music software and started recording his own tracks. At first, he was just making remixes of other popular songs, but he eventually started making original songs which gained him local attention. At the same time, young Pappy was also building a reputation in the streets. After getting out of jail, he was out for revenge on Loke City for Pooh Bear's death, which only got worse after PBG lost another member in April 2012. According to the rumors, young Pappy got revenge by shooting a member of Loke City named Lucky in the thigh and back. Not long after, he dropped the track Competition, which featured the bar, "Better ask Lucky what'll happen when I drill shit." So, Pappy's reputation in the streets was entering into his music career and earning him clout in the city. But
Okay, so he got his revenge for his friend Pooh Bear. Okay, all that stuff. So Pappy, I don't know, I can't say he was the start, but he was one of the niggas that was just known just for being disrespectful. Like, it's like every song is just he dissing somebody. Like, it's just disrespect all around. So, I mean, unfortunately, I think that's what played into him, you know, getting killed early on. But, man, it was just disrespect. So, I don't know. Him putting that Lucky Bot in his song makes sense, because that was pretty much every song.
it also made him a major target for Loke City, who was out for revenge after losing several members to the beat. Not long after that, young Pappy started getting into more trouble with the law. In June 2013, he was convicted of felony unlawful use of a weapon and sentenced to 2 years of probation. He later violated that probation and ended up being sentenced to a year in prison, but he was later credited with time served and released. Even though he had a pending case hanging over his head, he continued to go hard in the streets. On July 14, 2013, young Pappy allegedly caught his first body.
If y'all ever seen that video that they showing right now with him and his brother in the alley, so fucking funny. This just shows his personality. Like, how could you not love him?
Of West Jonquil Terrace. He was walking down the sidewalk when a car pulled up next to him and started letting off shots. The killers then jumped out of the car, stood over the victim, and shot him a few more times before fleeing the scene. So, whoever did it definitely wanted to send a message. No one was ever arrested for Blake's murder, but it was rumored to have been committed by young Pappy and a group of other dudes from PBG. But this wasn't just the streets talking. Pappy and his crew seemed to confirm this on multiple occasions. After the shooting, he and his homies doubled back and took videos of the crime scene, which they posted to social media to taunt their ops. Plus,
Now I love Pappy, but I can't say that was some dumb shit. Like, why do y'all go back and post shit on social media? Like, I just don't understand. You do some gang shit or whatever, y'all kill some, catch a body or whatever, and then you go and post it on Facebook. It's like, I know you want to send a message or claim that you did it, but it's just not smart. Like, why? So that gains you more attention, more ops coming your way. Now they really want to kill you. I don't know.
a few years later, Pappy released a freestyle that featured the bar, "Give you hollow tips, have your shit looking like Blake's face." So, whether or not he was actually involved, young Pappy
Ignition.
used Blake's death to diss his ops. A few months later, young Pappy and other members from PBG and TFG allegedly shot up another rival hood called Day Day World, a set of insane GDs. They was looking for a member named Lil Duke, who Pappy had a personal beef with. A few days later, one of Pappy's close homies, Two Cups, was murdered near the intersection of North Broadway and West Glen Lake Avenue. The day before he got killed, Two Cups told his father that he was taking his friend, who was in a wheelchair, to the Social Security office the next morning.
Two Cups.
His pops knew he liked to help people. So
I don't even know these people, but Pappy just made him so famous. So, I mean, I'm hearing about Two Cups, and that's all he used to talk about on his own. So,
he ain't think nothing of it, but he ain't know about his son's gang ties. His mother saw him eating breakfast around 9 a.m., and that was the last time she saw him. Two Cups and his friend were standing at the intersection when a light-colored van pulled up. His friend was not identified by police, but was said to be a member from TFG. A shooter then jumped out of the van and started letting off shots, killing two cubs and critically injuring his friend. It's been rumored that the killer was Lil Duke, who was getting revenge after young Pappy shot up his hood. Two Cubs and young Pappy was close, and his death hit him hard. He later named a series of mixtapes after his friend. And
You see the cycle they put themselves in? It's like pain after pain. Like, you go shoot up somebody's hood, then they come and they kill your best friend, and now you like heartbroken. But it's like you shot up their hood, and then it's like, I know they did something before that. It's just like cycle of it's just like, why?
and is now considered a drill classic. This mixtape really started to build Pappy a buzz in the city, but becoming a well-known rapper and a shooter also made him a target for ops. After the death of two Cubs, young Pappy continued to slide on Day Day World to get revenge, but members of Low City would catch him first, almost taking his life. On February 5th, 2014, Pappy, along with other members of PBG, was on their way to a McDonald's in Rogers Park when masked gunmen shot at their whip. 4 of them got hit, including young Pappy, who was hit in the arm. One member of their group, unfortunately, ain't make it, but the other 3 survived. The shooting was rumored to be the work of Low City in retaliation for the death of Blake Lamb. According
It's a lot of killing and shooting, a lot of sliding and drilling. It's a lot of that shit going on. That's the life we live in Chicago, I guess. That shit is crazy.
only to land himself in jail a few weeks later. On March 26, 2014, Pappy got arrested for reckless conduct and sentenced to 90 days in jail. He spent his 19th birthday locked up and got out on June 3rd. After he got out, he started to focus on music again in an attempt to make it out of the streets for good. But his reputation made it hard for him to avoid conflict. Not long after getting out of jail, Pappy was walking down Devon Avenue with a photographer who was shooting the cover art for his next mixtape. A car drove by and saw young Pappy. They doubled back, and someone inside the car started letting off shots. Young Pappy managed to escape, but his photographer was hit multiple times before collapsing to the ground. 2 gunmen chased young Pappy down a nearby street while witnesses tried to help the photographer, but it was too late, and he ended up dying. So,
You see how crazy this is? Now, this is what I want to say. You see how shit keeps seem like it's happening, like event after event after event. Like, he just got shot at, then he go to jail, and then he get shot at again. Like, you know, shit like that happening. Like, a lot of these dudes in the street don't believe, and they just think they cursed or whatever. But it is something that's bad energy. Like, once you do some shit in the street, like you take a soul or you do some shit like that, that energy is following you. So it's gonna feel like you curse, like shit keep happening to you. Because that's that energy. What you do is gonna come back to you. So unfortunately, that's a lot of what's going on in the streets of Chicago. A lot of these guys, they don't even understand stuff like that, but they just out here taking souls for souls, you know? But I guess they found out the hard way.
it seemed like everywhere Pappy went, bodies was dropping like flies. This attracted the attention of the Chicago police, who saw his music taking off and all the violence that followed. A few months later, young Pappy allegedly got revenge for the death of his homie, Pooh Bear. On September 11, 2014, police responded to a call of a person shot on the 1600 block of West Juneway Terrace, not far from where Pooh Bear was killed. The victim was none other than Glenford Johnson, aka Munchie from Low City, Pappy's main op. Munchie was standing in the courtyard of a building when a car pulled up and started letting off shots.
And you see how crazy that is? They all was friends from the beginning. And then Munchie ended up turning on Pooh Bear. And now Pappy ended up coming back around. You see how crazy that is? Like that, you see what type of pain these kids have to be dealing with? Like, you gotta end up shooting a friend that you was just fucking with or whatever, that you grew up with. It's just the type of shit that they do. Like, it's different. Y'all man's gotta be why you different.
He was hit in the chest and tried to run to a nearby hallway, but collapsed and later died. No one was ever arrested for Munchie's murder, but it's been rumored that it was committed by young Pappy and other members of PBG. Pappy continued to add fuel to these rumors by dissing Munchie in a remix to Chief Keef's Finito. He dissed Munchie on tracks and on social media, which only made him a bigger target for his ops from Low City. By that point, Pappy was really blowing up, and his videos was getting millions of views. In January 2015, Pappy got into a fight with a man outside the same McDonald's where he was shot less than a year earlier. The dude he was fighting was supposedly a member of Low City, and he ended up getting shot in the leg during the argument. Police saw part of the fight go down and ended up arresting Pappy on a reckless conduct charge. His mother said the police raided her apartment with guns drawn, looking for weapons that belonged to Pappy, but they ain't find anything. So he eventually pled guilty to the reckless conduct charges and was sentenced to 29 days in jail. After getting out, he dropped the second installment of his 2-Cup series, which featured some of the biggest tracks of his career, including Killer, Savages, and Afterlife Part 3. It looked like
Now, Killer and Savages, those are my favorite songs. And then Finito with the remix and stuff. So, those are my favorites. Those are classics. He did that.
Pappy was finally on his way to becoming a rap star, but he kept getting in trouble with the police, and it prevented him from reaching his full potential. To announce the release of his album, Pappy decided to host a birthday release party because he was turning 20 just a few days later. During the party, neighbors ended up calling the cops after someone shot a gun in the air. Police already had their eye on young Pappy, so when they heard he was involved, they decided to send a message. A SWAT team arrived with more than 50 officers and arrested over 100 people, including young Pappy. 30 of them were charged with disorderly conduct. Pappy bonded out the same day, but ended up catching another case for failing to appear in court for reckless conduct. So he was processed and again bonded out not long after. He then dropped the track Shooters right after being released to prove he couldn't be stopped. But just as he was reaching the height of his buzz, young Pappy would be gunned down. Around 1:30 a.m. on May 29, 2015, Pappy was walking with a friend near the 4800 block of North Kenmore Avenue when 2 gunmen walked up behind him and shot him twice in the back. He was rushed to Advocate Illinois Masonic Medical Center, but was pronounced dead a few hours later. Young Pappy's death was a huge loss to the city of Chicago. He was a major talent, and many were convinced that he would be the next to blow up on a national level. But unfortunately, the streets caught up to him before he could make it out and change his life for good.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop the video right there. We get the gist of it. Unfortunately, that is the same story for a lot of these young rappers and a lot of these young boys in Chicago. After watching this, and I don't know if y'all counted, but it seemed like this boy getting locked up time after time after time. But after watching this and stuff, it just seems like it's just sad. It's just the endless cycle that they're going through, and it's just like, I understand how they could feel trapped in a cycle and trapped in these neighborhoods. That's the end of this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I will be back with more videos for y'all. Bye.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's the real one, baby.
I'm telling you.
Chi-Town stand up.